It's Wednesday, December 9th, in the year of our Lord, 2020.
Can we even say Lord anymore? Shouldn't
Yes.
it be like year of the devil? You know, 2020, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
I already got that throat clearing out of the way there.
So you're saying it's the year of the devil?
Yeah,
Maybe.
something like that.
It's a fucked up year, for sure.
2020, man.
I have a feeling that we're headed for another lockdown.
Awesome. Can't wait.
This is all just... I don't even know what to think anymore.
There are restaurants and bars and stuff that are not going to recover if there is another one.
No doubt. There's probably many that
And that's just wrong and fucked up.
that are just going to fold. I have a feeling restaurants barely were hanging on before the pandemic. Like,
Yep.
It wasn't like they had a huge savings and amount of money. They were kind of making enough money to... Because when you think about most restaurants, it's kind of a family business. So...
And they're barely making over cost.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that, usually it's a family that's running it, and that's their whole job. And so, if it makes a profit, that was their income. So, if a restaurant makes $50,000 a year, everybody's like, "Wow, that's great! You made $50,000 a year." But that'd be the same as having a $50,000 a job, $50,000 a year job that you get to work. I don't know, 80 hours a week
24 hours,
for. Yeah. So, and when not only does the owners of the place not have an income, then they can't pay their bills. And it's clusterfuck.
Employees,
so
everything else.
Yeah, they're barely on the bubble as it is. So.
Yeah.
And any that were doing good, that came into this with maybe some savings and were able to wait it out. We're 10 months into this, and 9 months, 10 months. However many, a lot of months. They have to have burnt through any extra money they had or got or loans or...
It's 9 months it's been.
It's over. It's over for a lot.
I am, however, shocked that we are still in school.
For now.
In school, in person. And I love it.
That's good. Well,
Yeah.
did you see that the amount of...
The kids need that.
Failing grades this year?
Yeah.
Like the people that are homeschooling...
I know.
I know we're going to say something that's shocking here. Kids that were homeschooled didn't learn shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, from March to June for Piper, with me as a teacher, yeah, nope. But they were also still trying to figure the whole thing out. I think everybody kind of got a pass for the end of last school year because nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. But now they kind of have it figured out a little more, but still. It's just not good.
What's your feeling as you're checking the news and they're talking about hospitals filling up and all that kind of stuff?
From everything that I've seen on the Book of Face and people that I know that work in the medical field around here, okay, before everyone flips out and... We're in Pittsburgh and wherever. We're in Erie and Buffalo. In our rural Hicks town, we are still okay. As far as hospital capacity, staff, all that kind of stuff. Last I knew, we are still okay.
I'm wondering, and this probably sounds weird and it sounds like a crazy Trump thing. I wonder what would happen if we absolutely just stopped testing tomorrow. 100%, just...
Well, what does that have to do with hospitals?
Because I feel like we're putting a hell of a tax on the health system administering all these tests.
Well,
so
yeah, but they're doing it like at CVS and Rite Aid and shit too.
So you have all these people, and this is what I think is the most fucked up thing in the whole wide world. You're not supposed to, if you're following all the rules of COVID, you're supposed to stay home and not go anywhere unless you want to go get tested. And then you go to the place that everybody in the world has gone that possibly has COVID. And it seems like the absolute worst place to get COVID if you could get COVID, that easily.
Supposedly you can do an in-home test too.
But what I'm saying is, how much of the hysteria would it stop if tomorrow they just quit testing? I mean, they're saying there's however many thousands of tests a day that are positive. How many of those people are actually sick?
Nobody's going to stop testing, so I guess it's kind of a moot point.
But my point is that we know, it seems like everybody has COVID right now.
Yeah, it kind of had a little mini boom in our area.
Yeah, all over the place. But most of the people, and the majority of the people, I would say, they're either mildly sick
or not
at all.
Certainly not hospital sick.
Right,
which is awesome.
Right,
like
most
hallelujah.
of the people would just think they had like a weekend cold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of those ones where you're like, oh, I'm not feeling good, and then you kind of don't do anything for a couple of days and you feel better. That's just about everybody I talked to. They just sort of felt bad, and next thing you know, they're better.
Yeah.
So, but if you're constantly testing, that's what I'm trying to say. So all those people who would normally just get a cold, like any other year, you're like, oh, it went around. Like, remember last year, the school nurse was saying how they were having a really bad flu year.
And pneumonia.
And that was hitting the kids.
Guess what? It was COVID.
But it was hitting the kids last year.
Oh.
Because remember, the school nurse was like, it's been a tough year. There's been lots and lots of kids out for flu.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure, I can't remember for sure, but I'd be fairly confident that we got some sort of flu bug last. Well, yeah, I remember being sick in December.
You're always sick.
No, I'm not. Shut up. I'm not. You say that, but I'm not always sick. I'm not sick right now.
Just wait till morning.
But I know last December when I came back from PRI, I remember having a runny nose and a cold and all that stuff.
Well, that's just the stripper disease that you come back with every time.
I don't think it was stripper disease.
What?
I don't think it was stripper disease. Everybody wore a mask.
Did not.
But what I'm saying is, like...
Remember how crazy we thought all that was? In January, we're watching news and everybody in China is wearing a mask, and we're like, oh my God, can you imagine having to wear a mask everywhere you go? And now look at us.
I still think it's crazy.
I know. Anyway, why are we talking about this? We talk about this all the time. Everybody's talking about this.
It's what it is. What it is. Please. Pam has all this stuff she picks up and just starts snapping and clanking and clacking and carrying on. Well, it's just, this is all there is to talk about. There's this, and then all the election shit that I feel is going to come to a head probably tomorrow, one way or another.
No.
It has to come to a little bit of a head tomorrow. So tomorrow, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and all the other states that Texas and the states that have joined on with Texas are suing over the election results have to respond to this. And basically, I don't know what. Basically,
your knowledge on this is
well,
amazing.
I don't know what their response is supposed to be, because Texas is basically saying that they not only basically threw all their own rules out the window for mail-in ballots and violated their own constitutions, but there's also all sorts of fuckery going on. So I don't know what Pennsylvania does at that point, because it's in the Supreme Court. It just goes to the Supreme Court. And at that point, does Pennsylvania just go, nuh-uh, and then they have a court case? Or
and luckily, our governor came out today that he's COVID positive, so he has to stay in his home.
Which he was doing anyways. Fucking asshole.
So that none of us killed him.
I'm just fed up with everything. The COVID stuff, this election stuff, the thing
that's why I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Well, I don't want to, no.
Well, go ahead.
I'm just saying I'm completely fed up with all the stuff, and everything seems like it's almost like if somebody was stealing from you and you caught them on camera and you went to the police and you're like, hey, I caught those people, they broke into my house, stole my car. And then they'd be like, yeah, you're right. But technically, you weren't using it. And, can't we just all move on? Let them just have a car?
No.
It'd be better for the community if they all just had a car. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, wait. We have rules. And I caught them breaking the rules. Yeah, come on. And other people in the community will be like, yeah, let's just move on.
Mm-hmm. But it's not your car.
Let's not make a big deal about this. And you're like, no, it really matters. They broke the rules. No.
I know.
Let's just move on.
That's the way all of it is. Everything.
And all the people that were telling you, just move on, they're the people that are going to get free rides from these people that stole your car.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating.
Or the people that stole the car are just going to give it to them.
And then they're going to go pick up the Chinese people. See, that's the real problem.
Don't be racist.
It's not racist to say truth.
The Chinese didn't steal my car. Some motherfucker keyed it, but nobody stole it.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's because of your views you put out on the podcast?
Maybe.
As a social justice warrior?
I don't think anybody knows it's my car yet, really.
I feel like they hate somebody else
that has the exact same. Because everybody. Do you know how many cars in a day do you pass that look exactly like mine now?
I don't pay a ton of attention, but there's a fair of them. There's a lot of those.
So long story short, for those non-local folks,
for those people that don't live with Pam,
right?
That's the only way you'd know the story,
right? Well, no, we told our neighbors. Since in June, we purchased me a different vehicle. It is a white Yukon. And I was at our local supermarket last week with my child for all of 20 minutes and came out of said supermarket to find extremely long, deep, odd scratches down the driver and passenger. No, wait. Front and rear driver's side doors. And it was not, from what I can tell, from a cart.
Well, it was like deep. Somebody
yes,
had to
very deep and kind of jaggedish. Like, doesn't look like it would have been a cart. So I feel like somebody keyed my car. And I'm pretty pissed about it. But I don't know what to do about it. And I feel like I don't have enemies, but maybe I do.
You know who I think it was?
Who?
Carol fucking Baskins.
Maybe.
Have you tried to rescue any tigers from a sanctuary lately?
If I did, I wouldn't tell it on here.
Well, it's too late. Somebody already knows your nefarious businesses.
It's just upsetting because we got to figure something out about it now.
Well, we got to get it fixed. We'll just get the doors painted.
I don't want to have to do that. That's bullshit.
All right, fuck it. Let it rust. You make perfect logic and
I didn't
sense.
say I don't want to do it. Okay, is there anything else you want to fight with me about tonight?
Hey, I'm not
I
fighting
didn't
with you.
say I
You're
don't
fighting
want
with
to
me.
do it. I said I don't want to have to do it. That's two different things.
Well, I say we're gonna have to get that painted here, and you say I don't want to have to do that. There's really only one way to take that, and it's the same as I don't want to do that.
No, it's just me bitching.
All right. Well, maybe you need a disclaimer so I can tell whether you're having a serious conversation or you're just bitching, because I can't tell.
Okay.
No, I don't want to talk anymore.
So you posted something earlier on Facebook about the vaccine.
I thought you didn't want to talk about coronavirus anymore. See, these are the kind of mixed...
I'm not talking about the virus anymore. I'm talking about the fucking cure.
This is the mixed signals you're giving me all the time. You said I don't want to talk about it, and now we're talking about it. But anyways, go ahead. See how it takes the steam out of your steamboat?
Good one. That's
I almost said
fantastic.
steam out of your sails, but
right. So you said about it having to be so cold and stuff. So I heard.
So I said, for people that didn't see my Facebook post,
Oh, okay.
why in the world does the disease need to be stored at 80 degrees below zero? I think it was 80 degrees Celsius. So it's like 100 and something, 120 or 30 Fahrenheit. So it has to be stored at super cold temperature until it's ready to be used. And then I think I saw it can be in like a regular refrigerator for a few days before it's administered.
I don't know about that part, but what I did hear, because I listened to some doctor stuff, and the way it was explained was that I'm going to translate this to stupid people talk, because I'm a painter and that's how I understand stuff. So, from what I understand, the molecules of the vaccine, okay, are encased in lipids, which are basically fats. And if fats are warmed, they melt and become oil, okay? Which then destroys the molecules or particles or whatever the hell you call of the vaccine that does the job of causing the immune response to tackle the virus. So, when all the testing and the trials and all that stuff were done for this particular vaccine, they had it at they were in the term that we keep hearing that makes me cringe, in an overabundance of caution. They had the vaccine at that ridiculously low temperature just to be sure that the lipids didn't dissolve, so that they were delivering, the most effective dose of the vaccine. That's the level of temperature at which all the tests and the trials and everything were done. Ergo, that is the temperature that it was presented to the FDA to be passed. Okay? So because it got passed at that temperature, that's what the first distributions of the vaccine have to be, because that's what it was passed at the FDA as. But they are currently testing and doing trials at higher temperatures to be more practical. So that what they can do, say they decide, oh shit, this can be at 32 degrees, or this can be at negative 10 degrees, which pretty much every freezer can accommodate or whatever. They will then file an amendment to the FDA, and that'll get approved, and then they'll be able to switch to the lower or the higher temperature for stuff.
See, what's weird is...
Did what I just say make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Made sense. Why isn't this needed in any other sort of vaccine? That's what I'm curious about. Like, why?
There are other vaccines that have to be cold, but I don't think they have to be stupid cold like that one. And a lot of them, like, how they always say, if you're allergic to eggs, you can't get the vaccine. You heard that?
No.
Yeah.
This vaccine or any vaccine?
Other vaccines. I believe, in fact, just the flu shot.
I don't hang out a lot of
because one
places.
of the carriers in the vaccine is an egg byproduct, which has to be kept cold, or it'll spoil.
So you getting the vaccine?
No.
Are you letting our kid get the vaccine?
Absolutely not. Until they clear up the situation about the female sterility and this is a real specific statement. Anyone with allergies should probably not take the vaccine.
To anything.
That's pretty fucking vague.
Even pet allergies.
Like, what? Or anaphylactoid? Allergies, not anaphylactic. Which I'm like, wait.
I posted on Facebook the other day, and a couple people...
Why do you even do that?
The world's gotten so... Because I like to have an actual conversation, and sometimes people give actual answers instead of
Sometimes
the fucking snooty, stupid shit. But it's like the vaccine, they've made this in how many months? Which, if they really did, that is astounding. Like if they really made this vaccine and nailed it, that is astounding.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, they didn't.
I'm skeptical. Like, I'm not saying what they have is, like, fake. I'm just saying I just don't believe it has spent enough time under the microscope and testing to even be confident that there isn't a long-term effect because, well, it's only been around for a few months at best. So anybody that got injected with it, few months at best, has been injected. So, you don't know if there's any weird long-term side effects.
Right. They've only been looking at short-term.
And then you don't know if it even works long-term.
Right.
So how stupid would it be if we all get vaccinated?
And then grow a third boob or something.
Well, not even that. I'm just saying, and then next fall, we all get
take
COVID
a third
again.
Boob. What?
Then we all get COVID again because it really
right.
it's not effective. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know it's effective?
There's been no real discussion about it to the general public. It's just, here it is, take it.
Yeah, just get this.
And then you won't have to wear a mask anymore. Everything will be great.
No, you still got to wear a mask.
It.
You still have to wear a mask.
No, I mean eventually, if everyone takes it, then it's gone. Everything's happy days.
There was some doctor on the other day like, oh, no. This won't lift the restrictions for like a year. Okay, fuck you about everything. Just fucking let it run its course. It sucks. More people are gonna die. It fucking sucks. But it is what it is. We can't live in a nerfed up world. And then at the end of the day, when they can't tell us, this is the one that has me like going, They can't tell us if people that already have COVID are immune from getting it again.
I know. Well, there was yes, and then there was no. So I don't know where it's at now.
So how can you give us a vaccine that you are any relative percentage positive that you can't get COVID again if you can't even say people who already have had it can't get it again? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense, because obviously there's been, allegedly, for those that are on the fence that believe maybe there's a bit of fuckery here, 280-some thousand people that have died from it in our country, and then however many people beyond that got it and lived. So you can't figure that out. There's not some people that volunteered to like somehow get, I don't know how you test that. You get people that test positive to spit in your mouth or something to see if you get sick again. But there's people that signed up to get this.
They offer them money. People will do it.
Well, there's people that signed up to get this vaccine just completely blind, and they got money for it. Like, I would be willing to get COVID twice before I would be willing to get that fucking vaccine. Like, lock me in the room with a COVID positive person. I'll roll my fucking dice. And then once I get better, a month later, lock me in a room with another COVID person until I got it and see if I get it again or not. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like a better test that we're not doing, and maybe they are, but you don't hear anything about it, than fucking whipping up some weird concoction that we have to keep colder than Uranus's asshole.
I just explained that.
I know, but it just seems like so much more complicated than answering the question, can somebody get infected
I know. And maybe, to be honest with you, I have not gone searching for
I did the other day.
information on this.
I Googled it and stuff.
Because I just can't anymore. I just want to hear funny things.
Like, what do you want to hear?
And happy things. Like comedy specials.
Yeah.
And just like happiness.
Do you know any good
and
jokes?
Campfires and stuff. I don't.
Well, if you want to make this more of a comedy thing, you have to start working on your act.
Well, I wasn't prepared for that. It's kind of,
Well, I was thinking about something today. And I don't know if I have more than one example or if you would have more than one example. But...
Is it about COVID?
No, not at all.
Good.
Are there other things that you just know by looking at them, they're like status? So, for instance, is especially like right now where it snows just a little bit, so the windshield of vehicles gets a little covered up. But you can tell by the way a vehicle is parked in somebody's yard or in a lot if it's for sale. I don't know what it is. Like, it could just be parked in a parking lot somewhere, and you're like, oh, that's for sale. You don't even have to see that there's a sign on it. Because today I was driving by, and I'm like, oh, that truck's obviously for sale. And it was the way it was parked in the yard. I'm like, yep, for sale. I don't know if it's the angle of it.
Probably.
It's just out of place. It's not normally parked there because you drive by there all the time.
Or just most people don't park in a yard.
A lot of people do.
Oh.
But I was just like, are there other things that you can just look at and be like, yep.
So try to give me one more example so I see if I'm like on the same
I'm
track.
not sure. I've been trying to think of another one. Okay, I've got another one. Like, there are fake cowboys and real cowboys. Like, when you see somebody who's a real, like, farmer / cowboy, you just know by looking at them, you're like, yep, cowboy. Yep, farmer. And then there's people like, yep, trying to be Jason Aldean.
Okay.
But you can just tell by, there's some, I don't know, you can just take in all the little facts. And when you see him get out of their truck, you're like, oh, that guy works on a farm.
Okay. Well, I have a female equivalent to that. You look at somebody and go, yep, she's a hoe.
Really?
Yep.
That's very judgmental.
But I'd have a hard time giving you like a list of what makes someone such. It's just like you say, it's just you just put it all together by looking at it. Yep.
So how do you judge somebody as a hoe just by looking at them? Like, how do you, is there
That's what I just finished saying, is I'm not sure I can exactly come up with a physical list. There's just a mannerism, maybe.
How about cops? Like, you can usually pick out somebody as a law enforcement guy.
Or military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always, I don't know what it is about them.
Yeah.
Like, if you're around them, you're like, oh, I think you're a cop. Or, oh, you're a military dude. And it's usually the military dudes, they give you different clues. Like their giant USMC tattoos on their arms.
On the back side of their arm.
Or their hats that are always whatever.
So if you know how to tell a cop, you should monetize this.
I don't know undercover cop. I'm just saying like a regular, like, so I'll give you, for instance, this summer, we were at camp and there was a town cop hanging out in our group. And I remember saying to somebody else, like, I'm pretty sure I know that guy. And I think he just feels like he's a cop. And they're like, yeah, it's our town cop, stupid. And I was like, oh shit, he looked like different in shorts and not, you know, in his uniform. Not
naked.
No.
I was going to say you should monetize this and hold like a seminar for criminals.
No.
To be like, this is how to tell.
I want to be on the good team. You know, all right. You can pick out really fucking dumb kids just by looking at them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe even that you can expand that to really dumb people.
Yeah.
And I feel bad if you're a really dumb looking person and you're hearing this and you're like, oh. But like sometimes you just look at somebody and sometimes I guess sometimes you get tricked, but you're just like, oh, fucking not that bright. And they don't even have to do anything. Maybe it's just their mannerisms or the way they talk or
mannerisms something. Is a lot. Oh, speaking of, I totally wanted to, there's a couple books I want to buy on like body language and stuff, mannerisms and things. That really interests me. Like how to tell if somebody's lying and stuff like that.
What do you want to know? I read all the books about this.
Not the ones I want to read.
I'm just kidding. I have read a few books about it, but
I would like to.
The problem with all that stuff is I read it all and then I forget it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's out of your mind as
That's
soon as
why
you
I
finish
want
reading.
and you're always like, why don't you do ebooks? Because I want to like look back over it because I'm not extremely bright. So I have.
I can tell by looking at you.
I always want to have like the hard copy, which is why I ended up donating like what 300 books to the library
oh my God.
2 years ago when we cleaned out
I heard something hilarious the other day. So someplace there's been this mass exodus of people's libraries because they don't keep hardbound books anymore. They're either going to audiobooks or ebooks or whatever.
That's stupid.
Because they take up a lot of space. So if you
what?
If you live in a city and you have a very small apartment, at some point you're going to be like, these books have to fucking go. I need room to, put my clothes or whatever. Well, they try and take them to libraries and donate them, but libraries are also declining in popularity. So there's not as many people going in, and libraries have less budget and then less room. And they quit taking people's donations. They're like, we don't want your fucking books.
Probably because they're gross.
Do not drop your books off here. We don't have room for them. We already have too many books. So people have started dropping these books off in the return slots. So like, when you get a library book and you just bring it back and you dump it in the return slot. Mm-hmm. So they'll just take their books, take 5 at a time, and just drop them in the return slot at night. And then they're like, there, bitch, take my fucking books.
Oh.
And then the libraries are starting to get rid of their night return slots because so many people are doing this.
Oh.
And I was like, I was hearing this story the other day, and I'm like, what a weird fucking world we live in.
Yeah.
The library's
Criminal
like,
book
we're going to take away this convenience because
situation.
people are trying to give us too much free shit.
Well, I like the feel of a real book.
I kind of do, but I really like a good audiobook.
No.
I'm a better listener than I am a reader.
Not me.
Because if I have to listen to a book,
I am a visual learner.
If I have to listen to a book, I'm fucking locked in. Like I'm concentrating, I'm listening to it. If I'm reading a book, there'll be music on, or I'll be, sitting on the couch and there's other stuff going on, and I'm not locked in. So I read words, but I'm not paying attention to them. Whereas if I listen to an audiobook, I'm like locked in.
Total opposites.
I don't know if that's an opposite, really. I mean, I think the opposite would be not reading at all.
Well,
or
maybe.
Listening. So
well, thank goodness both of us enjoying to read rubbed off on our kid.
Yes. So you wanted to get body language books.
Yeah. Like how to tell how people are lying and stuff like that. Because I've watched a couple things on it, and it just fascinates me.
What would you
Not
do?
like I feel like a lot of people in my life lie to me, but I just find it fascinating. I don't even know that I would ever use it for anything.
Are you going to use this as a career, like start becoming a private detective or something?
That'd be cool.
You'd be
climbing ladders is getting hard.
You're going to have to come up with something new. You could be a detective.
Yeah.
You could just sit around and find people that are scamming on their disability. They're out there doing yard work and lifting root bulbs and shit.
Just Smethport alone, I'd have a
Hell
year
yes.
or two.
Do you know, I was listening to something the other day, and they were talking about people that do that, and I was thinking, can you imagine every day just constantly trying to like cover your tracks, and you can't do anything?
Well, it might be fun though.
No way. And it's not like you get insane amounts of money unless you got some sort of settlement. And if
I
you
would
got
be
a settlement, you got a
PI
settlement.
so that like rich people would hire me to go find their hoe. See, I can read a hoe.
To go find their hoe?
No, to find the hoe that their husband's cheating with or whatever.
What about their wife?
Same.
So you're equal opportunity.
Let's face it. When I said hoe, I didn't specify male or female.
That is true.
Because there's a majority more male probably than there are female.
I think it's 50-50.
And the males are a little more obvious than the females.
Well,
Just saying.
I think men are fucking stupid.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
You said it. I didn't. Keep your dick in your pants. Hashtag. Keep your dick in your pants.
I don't feel like we're ever going to make it onto the family categories of any of the podcasts.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to.
Well, it's kind of ruined now. I want it to be a real family, wholesome show. And,
Alright.
you know, all the dick talk and the F words. Ruin it. So you want to be a private detective.
And read books on body language.
Don't you want to just find missing people and shit like that?
I'd love to do cold case shit.
Why don't you become a cop then?
I totally should have gone into the FBI shit.
You still can.
What was that show? Hunter?
Cold case?
No. No, that one that I watched all the ones on the serial killers and stuff.
Oh, I don't like serial
Love all
killer
that
stuff.
shit. Love it.
Why do you like that shit? I can never, like, it seems
Oh my
like...
God.
So
I don't know.
Not to
just
throw
do.
our postmaster under the bus here. I walked into the post office the other day, and normally I just drop my shit off at the window because I ship a lot of packages.
At work, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I usually just bring the package over. I'm like, here you go. See ya. Get my mail, and I leave. Well, that day I needed a stamp or something. So I walked over to the window, and I'm like, hey, can I get a stamp? But whenever I'm in there, she always has something playing on the her phone.
Oh.
Like an audiobook or something.
I was going to say they have a TV in there?
I don't know, but there's always something playing. And she's obviously, I don't think it's a high traffic post office
Right.
where I'm at, so I'm sure she's bored. But she's always listening to something. So I went up and I asked for a stamp, and then the next thing I hear is, there was a gaping chest wound.
Nice.
And I'm like, what are you listening to? And she's like, oh, I like to listen to this podcast about serial killers. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I need to find out which one it was.
okay, you crazy people.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Why do you like that stuff? It just makes me sad.
I guess just fascination with the abnormal.
I mean, I just always feel really bad for the people that got killed. And you
Well,
guys
yeah,
are like,
No, that's not true. I get fascinated with the mind that could actually do something like that because it's so far from what I could.
I don't care about that mind. Like, exterminate that from the earth.
Exactly. So in order to be able to do that, you have to understand it.
But it seems like you guys enjoy it just a little too much.
Maybe.
It's kind of weird.
Don't judge.
It's like a weird obsession.
God.
It's like if I was...
It's not an obsession, first of all.
Okay.
But I also love to watch Hoarders. Piper and I are both on that. I watch Hoarders every single chance I get.
All I'm saying,
Snapped. Love it.
if I went through somebody's Pornhub history
Ew.
and they only watched like videos of go ahead, tell everybody why we had to be quiet there for a second.
No, go ahead.
Oh boy. Anyways, and they only had in their search history, they had videos that had rubber ducks in them. So I'm gonna be real general here. You'd be like, this dude's kind of into rubber ducks. When you guys watch nothing but murder mystery and serial killer stuff, I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Why? It's not like I've done it.
Neither is the guy that watches the rubber duck videos. But I
I'm so
wouldn't be
confused.
surprised if he did at that point. Is
Oh,
what I'm
well,
saying.
watch your back then.
Oh, Jesus
What you
Christ.
worried about? If you ain't doing nothing.
I'm worried about serial killers. The people that serial killers killed weren't doing anything. They're just having a regular old day, just being brunette.
Not on Snapped. There's always a reason.
That fucking show sucks too. I hate all those shows.
No, I just get fascinated with just the abnormal psychology of all that shit. So yeah, I could be like a I could do like the cold case investigating stuff.
So why don't you go get, like, I'm sure there's some course you can take. You take a few classes and you go off and be a detective.
We'd probably have to move.
Well, you'd have to get a pantsuit.
Yes, for sure.
They always have those pantsuits.
And kind of wide-heeled boots.
And you'd probably have to get, like, an old muscle car.
Probably.
I don't know. I'd never understand that about, like, all your famous popular cops on movies. Like, why do you get to drive your own muscle car, and why would you? They always have some old classic, like, Challenger, Mustang or something.
Wait, you're asking why somebody would drive an old muscle car?
No, I understand why you would.
Oh.
But why would you?
Said, why would you?
Why would you drive that as your work vehicle? Wouldn't you be provided, like, a police car?
Cruiser, baby.
Instead, the chief's like, hey, Pam, I need you to jump in your 74 Torino and go run down this lead.
Right.
Just, like, if I was your boss, I'd be like, dude, what? You can't drive that piece of shit. Like, we need you driving, like, a new vehicle. And also, I can't have you hauling around like criminals in the back of your Torino.
Yeah. I feel like you're misinterpreting modern day investigation with some movie you've seen.
I absolutely am.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe a new career path for me.
I think that's the move. I think you could be a detective.
Why do you think I'm bad at painting?
Yeah, actually.
I'm bad at it?
Yeah.
After 18 years?
I'm trying to find a way to I'm trying to discourage you.
Have a sugar mama?
I'm trying to discourage you from keeping doing this to help push you in your new path. Like, all these years, I'll be like, yeah, you've never really been that great at it. We've just all been being really nice, so I bet you'd make a great detective, though.
It's pity jobs.
Yeah.
All right.
So what are you going to, on a serious note, what are you going to do in 10 years?
I don't know.
You going to keep painting?
I don't know.
Do you think you can?
No.
Are you going to try and find a regular job, or are you just going to try and start some other business, like private detective business?
I don't know.
Maybe you could give seminars about how to read body language.
Maybe.
See, I feel like that is the fucking gig.
Yeah?
So when I was in Vistage there was all these people that came through, and they would give, it depended a lot on what they were doing, but usually about an hour to 2 hour presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of the, there was very few that wasn't shit you heard before.
Mm-hmm.
It was just somebody took the time to explain it. Maybe you didn't quite grasp it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you picked up a self-help book and read, I don't know, all right, the one I like the most and I would recommend for anybody that has to negotiate, except for anybody that has to negotiate with me, is to read the book Never Split the Difference. I can't remember the guy's name that wrote it, but it's an awesome book that explains to you about how to negotiate and how to figure things out. So that book would be one that I probably could read it again right now and give a seminar on it and explain it, the little holes when you read it that you don't quite grasp unless you actually do it. And I feel like that's the problem with a lot of these books that we were just talking about before. So you sit down and read a book about body language, and there's so many things that
the application in real life is not quite as seamless as they make it seem in the book.
Or you have a mental picture in your mind of what that looks like.
Yeah.
But when you actually see it in person, you're like, oh, that's okay. I get it now. And then once you see it in person, I feel like it's a little different than actually just reading.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe that's the move.
Well,
because those guys make bank.
The other thing, I mean, I could just stay in my field and do instruction or
Well, you always say that.
seminar type stuff. I don't know.
Maybe you could be an Instagram model.
That ship has sailed.
No, I think there's enough.
I don't think that ship ever even got put in the water.
I feel like there's enough filters on every social media.
Oh,
now.
you're a fucking asshole.
Dude, let's slow down. I just say there's enough filters on social media that anybody can be whatever they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one, I think it was, I don't know if it was Joe Rogan or somebody posted here a little while ago, that their teenage daughter, took a picture of them, a man. Fucking coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. It's our stupid heat. It gets so dry in here.
And plus, my other problem lately is I've been doing all that construction shit at the shop and sawing and
Welcome
dust.
to my life.
And I've just been, like, my nose has just been full of dust. The amount of sneezing and coughing I've been doing lately.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, today I was cutting paneling, and I did some paneling. I chopped a whole bunch up, had dust in my nose, and I ran downtown. And the
You
whole
have to try to stifle it.
Yes, I'm
when
like,
you're
I
in
don't want to
public.
sneeze.
I know.
So then I'm trying to, like, hold my sneezing, and I almost shit in my pants. But anyways, they took a picture of a man, and their teenage daughters took filters and basically turned him into a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so how many beautiful women on Instagram, or dudes for that matter, are not exactly what they... I can't remember who it was. I think it was on Twitter. There was one of the Kardashians. She was on a beach in a bathing suit running around, and it's her birthday. I don't know, she's 40 or something like that.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, the person that retweeted it said, she might be 40, but I can name at least 4 body parts that are not.
Yeah. True story. Those are yesterday days old.
Yeah, those have a warranty card. She bought those.
A serial number.
So, you don't want to be an Instagram model. So basically,
I'm not doing anything based on my looks. Let's put it out there.
You're a good-looking lady.
Oh, thanks.
So you could be a private investigator. What about a news correspondent?
No.
It seems like you
like
just...
a Kaylee McEnany?
No, she's the spokes...
Whatever.
She's the press...
On the news.
Something. Can't think of her title. No, I'm talking like all you need is basically a microphone.
That's also based on looks.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You don't see ugly people doing that shit?
Yes, you do.
Not really.
Not that you're ugly. Stop.
No,
for
I'm
starters,
just...
shut the fuck up.
No, I mean, like, that's... You have to be a palatable face.
No.
No, I don't want to do that. That bores the shit out of me.
There's some trolls that are on...
Oh, well, whatever.
They're not, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that's because they're smart.
Okay. We'll get smarter. All right. What about like Uber?
No.
You drive an
Weirdos.
Uber.
I mean, yeah, I could, but I don't want to deal with weirdos and have to have my gun, like, in my bra.
I'm just trying to come up with things that you could do.
I'll keep doing this until I can't, and then I'm going to live off your riches.
Well.
Oh, that's right.
What I'm saying is, before your knees and shoulders give completely out,
That was last year.
maybe you should have a backup plan.
Yeah, I know.
That you're headed to.
I know.
Have you ever thought, and all my friends that do this, I'm not slamming you, but it just seems like the go-to for almost everybody I know. Have you thought about taking pictures?
What?
I think everybody I know in the world is a photographer.
Oh. No.
Like,
that doesn't interest me either.
I can't get over, and I'm not knocking people that do it, because there's so many people that do it, but I can't get over how many people need pictures taken all the time.
Oh, I know.
I never realized until, I don't know how many friends we have that take pictures, probably
Like a lot. And
a
they all
dozen?
have a lot of
and
work.
they're busy all the time. That's what I was thinking the other day. Like, who knew?
I know, yeah, no. I know nothing about it, nor do I have any interest whatsoever.
And they make pretty fair money if they're busy.
I'd rather pay them to do it for me.
All right. Well, that's not going to be very lucrative. What about, have you thought about selling CBD oil? That's the
How
craze right
about,
now.
have you thought about opening a vape shop? No.
Okay. they're going to legalize weed. It looks like that's coming. Maybe you could become a farmer.
I'll just sell it to you.
That's fine. But also not very lucrative as a career.
Right.
With just one customer.
I'll think about it. What I want to do.
Okay. Because that's what makes a good podcast.
I have to pee. I'm just a strange human.
All right, wait. So you just said I have to pee.
Right.
And then we
And
paused
I did.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went peed. So
Yeah.
people aren't like, what?
Yeah. No, I'm just a strange human with weird interests, and it's hard to find a career path when you're like that.
Huh.
I mean, I could, go for the whole, what my college degree thing is, but which is teaching art, but I don't see myself doing that.
Why not?
I don't know. Especially now.
What about you could dance at Busty's?
With my A cup, that's going to make me a
they
lot
take
of money.
Everybody over there.
Well,
They are
that
an
right there is not an encouraging statement.
They are an equal opportunity employer
Great.
from what I've seen. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just trying to come up with.
No,
What about
thanks.
you can run for politician?
Nope.
Will you be
Nope.
like that
Nope.
chick from
AOC?
No,
No.
now I will murder you in your sleep. What's the Christy Noem? Be like that chick. Everybody likes her. Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't really have anything for you.
Open for suggestions from the general public.
What?
What do you think I would be good at?
What about podcasting?
No. I could be one of those unboxers that Piper's watching all the time.
You could
People
start,
would just send me toys and I'd unbox them for people.
maybe you could be an unboxer of like painting supplies and construction stuff.
Well, you don't play with it after you take it out of the box. You use it to work.
There's tons of people like I watched 4 unboxing videos about this board that we use to record this.
Oh.
And the whole unboxing thing is retarded.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But
what
it's
kills me. Well,
huge.
what kills me about it is like, can anybody realize that we don't care about you taking it out of the package?
No, there are people who care very much to see the lovely fingernails picking everything out, and
I just want to see how it works and whether you like it or not. I want to see basically a review,
yeah.
and then I would like to see people setting the shit up so I can watch and go, oh, I'm not saying I don't like seeing it coming out of the box. I'm just like, let's pump the fucking brakes on the reveal out of the box. Like, I want to see how it comes and what I have to do to set things up or put it together.
Right.
So I can gauge how much time or whether I can do it.
Right.
But let's fucking slow down.
Well, for me to take a paintbrush out of the sleeve.
There's got to be lots of other things you could, like your stencils and I'm not in your world, so I'm just
Right. Because there's people who have classes for proprietary materials.
Again, all horseshit.
Yeah.
You could be doing that.
There is a class I want to take right now, but it's ridiculous.
How much?
I don't even know how much the class is, but you have to travel. So I'm not getting on a plane and all this bullshit.
Travel to where? How far away is it?
I'm not even sure where the closest... I want to say Chicago.
Is this your fucking dream or not?
Where I
You
went
don't
last
even know
time.
anything about it. Chicago's not that
No,
far.
I just
It's
said...
just like a
No, I know, but I
short
don't
trip.
want to travel in all this shit.
Are people still having classes? Well,
Yeah, believe it or not.
Illinois
Just,
are they shut down?
what?
Well, yeah, they got that crazy
Yeah.
Beetlejuice mayor in Chicago.
Yep.
Man.
Anyway.
So you don't want to do that either, huh?
Well, I mean, I do, but
I made this.
it's beautiful.
You're welcome.
I didn't say thank you.
Well, I thought by saying it's beautiful.
I'm
it's
just being a smart ass.
It was like a thank you. All right, well, whatever. I mean, why don't you just retire?
Self-employment doesn't really lend itself to retirement. I mean, it should, but we haven't done our shit right.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to put you down. You can't. When you can't hold a paintbrush anymore.
Oh my God, I'm only 45.
I'm gonna take you to the farm so you can run.
Only 45.
So what well, we might. All right. So to finish up the podcast for the night, I'm struggling to get my words exactly where I want them. I feel like by next week, when we do a podcast, I'm putting a podcast psychic out.
Ooh.
We will be 75% sure Trump's going to be president.
What?
Yes.
That he's going to be president or remain?
Remain. He will be. I wasn't pulling a dirty trick. I'm saying by next Wednesday night, we're going to be like, yep, Trump's in for 4 more years.
What?
Yes. Everything I'm seeing, the way everything's going, Trump will be in for 4 more years.
Okay.
And so will the coronavirus.
Oh.
It's going to be vice president.
I'm going to give you that before I'll give you the former.
So we'll have coronavirus, vice president, Donald Trump president, and I'm pretty sure Tiger King is going to be Secretary of State from the way that I'm seeing everything shake out.
So now I know you're just talking bullshit.
I am not. I feel like Trump's going to stay in. Or there's going to be a giant war of some sort.
Great.
I know. Cheery. So that's my predictions. So we'll check back next week.
Okay.
Do you have any predictions for the week?
I feel like Pennsylvania's going to go into further lockdowns.
Do you think people will do it this time and they'll just be like, fuck you?
I think there's going to be a lot more of the, oh, this guy's getting arrested for not shutting his restaurant down. And
do you think people would do that around here?
I don't know.
I feel like the police are going to be, at some point the police are going to be, look, motherfuckers, we're not going to go arrest a restaurant owner for serving spaghetti.
Well, in our area, we haven't seen that to begin with. Nobody was policing any of this stuff.
Well, the LCB, yeah, they were. The LCB was hammering all the bars on their corona compliance and handing out fines. But everybody around here, I don't know of anybody around here that really... I know of a few places that were kind of rather flippant with their table spacing. They were just kind of like, fucking whatever. Wear your mask until you sit down. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like, as long as you were sitting down, it was like going to a normal restaurant and all their staff had masks on. And, you know what I mean? So, and then there's others that had, obviously tables in between and all that shit. But I didn't see anybody just giving a 100% fuck you, we don't care sort of attitude to it that I can think of.
I think it's going to be a lot harder this time around for the ones that are flailing to begin with to have to do all this again.
If I was going out of business, I'd just be like, fuck you.
Last hurrah.
We're open, motherfuckers. And then, to be honest, if a local restaurant was like, hey, we're going to be open, we need people to come stand around our place and not let the authorities in, I would be like, okay, I'll go. It's fucking bullshit. I understand. This is my rub on the whole thing. I understand the virus and it's real and people are getting sick. I don't care. Like, I feel like I don't want it. Just like I don't want to get a cold or fucking have diarrhea. Like, I don't want that. But
you get diarrhea a lot.
I do not. You say that all the time.
I'm just kidding.
Don't. I have really hard poops all the time.
I was just kidding.
I'm going to start taking pictures of my poops every day and send them to you.
Ew.
But anyways, I don't want that, but I know it's not going to kill me. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I'll get through it. And what drives me nuts about these restaurants is, if you don't want to fucking go, don't go. And then the flip side of that is, but then you're carrying it back to blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
We're already not allowed to fucking see people. We're already not supposed to go see other people. We're supposed to stay in our own house and stay with our own family. So if you are high risk, if you're older or you're compromised in some way, don't let anybody come see you.
Well, but
It's
what
your
about the people
fucking
that
choice.
don't think they are? But it turns out when they get it, it's fuckaroony for you.
Same thing with people that think they can fucking skydive and they can't. Sorry. Whoops. You made a decision. It sucks. This is what drives me nuts about this whole thing. It's a bad situation that we're not letting people just making their own decision on. It's government daddy has to dictate everything. And it's like, no. And they're all like, the top-down feeling on it all is, we're way smarter than you, and we're going to dictate how you live your life to keep you safe from yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fuck you. Again, if you're worried, you want to stay home, stay home. If you, and they're like, well, I'm going to go to Walmart and get my
don't
groceries.
make that sound. Don't make that voice.
Yes, you could, or you can send somebody to do it, and they could leave the groceries outside your house, or
Do the pickup.
They have that curbside pickup. In this day and age, there's a million ways that you could live your life and not ever have to talk to another
Even
fucking
around
human.
here. Well, except for groceries in our very small town.
I think they'll still do a curbside thing for you if you call. I think there's a sign.
How do you pay?
I'm sure you can pay with a card, or you can just give them a check, cash, whatever.
Huh.
I mean, that would be better than going in the store if you're worried about it. You just crack your window and slide a check out. And
Like a dispenser.
But again, you would have to make a concession to live the protected life that you want to live. And that concession is you have to write a check out or have exact change to hand to whoever brings your groceries.
So you're saying you think you can call there, tell them everything you want, have somebody go around and get it all.
I'm pretty sure.
Huh. All right. Not that I'm going to, but
I'm fairly certain they would
on the
accommodate.
days I don't want to put pants on, I mean, I might.
Just be like, hey, could you just meet me at the curb with a 12-pack of beer and some steaks?
Right?
And some Cheetos.
That'd be awesome.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, just let people... I'm tired of everybody that... This is the other thing that's driving me nuts about it. Is everybody that gets COVID is super secret about it. Because we don't want to tell
Well, yes,
anybody.
because everybody treats them like shit.
I know, which is bullshit. It's like... It's driving me nuts that this is just a fact of life that's going on. It's a fact. And are you saying it's a hoax? No, I'm saying it is very real, and it's a fact that it's going on. Just cut the fucking shit and get back to living life. People are going to get sick. When they get sick, they have to do whatever. Not work, and we should help them and everything else. But the rest of it is nonsense. If you want to stay home, fucking stay home. You want to avoid everybody? Avoid everybody. But let the rest of the world go on.
Right.
And then the argument comes. There's so many layers. But you don't care about the healthcare workers because it's going to overwhelm the hospitals. Isn't that the 2 weeks to slow the spread back in fucking March was so they can get prepared and get ready and make extra room, and so they didn't get hit with it all at once, and they can be ready for a quote-unquote surge? In March, do you remember that? 2 weeks to slow the spread?
But we can't speak to that. Like, we don't know
what it's like. We can't. If you told me in March, John, in December, you're going to have 10 times the normal business that you will. We know it. We can project it. There's going to be 10 times the normal business that you have right now. What we're going to do is we're going to slow it down for April and May, and maybe some of June, to let you get ahead of it. I'd be like, okay. And whatever I had to do, I would build extra offices, hire more people, whatever it was needed to be done. And I would do it. And then if December, I get 5, 10, 20 times the business, I wouldn't be going, oh my God, people quit buying stuff from me. I can't do this. I'm working 20 hours a day. You knew, motherfucker. And if you don't want to do it, quit. Like, it's driving me nuts. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, but it just seems like we're...
It seems callous because it's the medical field?
No, because it's something we don't know.
What don't we know?
How the medical field runs. I don't
It
know.
runs like any business.
I don't care.
You project what's going to happen and you
Here we are
prepare for
talking
it.
about this again.
All right.
Sad music. There it is. There it is. All the medical workers right now.
I'm not saying